I'm Jamie Good, and in February 2017 I visited Australia's Mornington Peninsula wine region. Just south of Melbourne, this region has established itself as Australia's most important for Pinot Noir, although it also makes excellent Chardonnay and very good Pinot Gris. In this two-part film I'm introducing some of the leading producers and quizzing them about what's special about Mornington.
So what's the deal with Mornington? What makes it special?
What makes Mornington special? Well, I think you've got the beaches and you've got the wines and you've got the golf courses, and it's pretty spectacular. It's a pretty nice drive. It's a cool maritime climate. I think that's the key to our wines, and it's making really nice, elegant, pure wines with a really amazing acidity to them. So really nice and clean. And I think that's our strength. And I think we're all playing to those strengths pretty well now. So.
And how long have you been making wine here?
Personally, personally, I've been going for 12 years now.
And have you noticed any changes in 12 years?
Oh.
No, it's just the same. So. No, it's all the same. Same old
Yeah, that's right. It's getting to know your side, so we know our side pretty well now. And it's and I think we've got our clones right, we've got the varieties right, and we were talking about it last night. But Mornington, I think people used to look at the Pinots down here and think, light strawberry juice, nothing too serious. And you go and try them all now, and there's some really serious Pinots around. Really pretty perfumes, and it's come a long way. I think the wines have come a really long way.
Where are we now?
We're about in here, I think.
Yeah. And what's the red colour there?
So this is this rich red clay soil, so really heavy soils.
Yeah.
And so we've got two vineyards. So this is our Pinot Gris site, and then we've got another site on these sandier soils down here for our Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So much better drainage.
Just tried these wines. Tell me what you're trying to do, because I think there's a beautiful elegance to these Pinots.
Yeah, well, I think for me, what Mornington gets with its Pinot is beautiful perfumes, and they're nice red fruits. So you've got raspberries and cherries, but then this beautiful perfume and acidity that comes through. So to me, that's what Mornington does really well, and it's our character. And I think that's what I want to highlight and show off in our wines. So really throwing to the strengths of what the peninsula can do.
Very Manhattan. The region's going from strength to strength. We've established ourselves, we believe, as the best region on mainland Australia anyway. Tasmania doing very well. Their production's well behind us at the moment, but I think Mornington is special because of its maritime influence. It's cool because of the water that surrounds us. Our range of soils down here, from heavy clays to light and sandy loams, means we get a range of wine styles, which is interesting. It's compact. We have a really serious group of people down here. Many of them have come from other careers that really want to make their businesses work. So there's a lot of collaboration and working together. Many of us are friends socially, and the region seems to really work. There's a decline in fruitfulness and increase in leaf and vigour. So I tried a Sylvos system. I tried Scott Henry, and then eventually saw this Lyre system at Gary Crittenden at Dramana Estate in those days. He's now Crittenden Wines. Was trialling a Lyre system like this. Don't leave those big tall bloody things sticking up there. You can pick Diesels a couple of weeks later than last year, but last year was the earliest we've ever had, so that's not a bad thing. The yields are not as good as last year, which is a bit sad, but we have to live and work with it. In a year like this, this clone normally has very large bunches, but with all the chickens, suddenly the bunches come down to
warm weather in the summertime. All our warm air comes from Central Australia, gets driven down, hits Melbourne, could be 40 degrees plus on a hot day. As it crosses the bay, it picks up moisture and has this cooling effect. So by the time it hits the peninsula, you've had this moderating effect of temperature, which is really important in terms of vine metabolism. So above sort of 34, 35 degrees, the vine will shut down. So if we can keep that temperature lower, it means we just get this lovely gradual accumulation of metabolism, you get this accumulation of flavour and colour and tannin structure in the wine. So pretty important. We're blessed because we have access to lots of different vineyards across the peninsula. So Arthur's Seat, this is about 400 metres above sea level. This is all red volcanic clay here. As you go down the hill, you come further north, you come to more sort of brown and grey clay loams. Much more vigour here, a lot more water retention, a lot more nutrient. As you go down the hill, you tend to get a lot more free draining soil. So you can get pretty much, we've had sometimes up to 4 weeks ripening difference between our main ridge vineyard here and our Chiron vineyard here. And geographically, distance-wise, it's only probably 12, 15 kilometres.
Tell me about a diurnal temperature, the swing, is it?
Yeah, well, basically because we have this moderating effect of water, the temperature range is usually, if the temperature sits between about 15 and 35 degrees, the vine's going to be metabolising. Outside of those temperatures, the vine will shut down. So it's either too cold and it won't function. If it's too hot, it also shuts down to protect itself from transpiring all its water away. So our diurnal temperature range on the peninsula is quite narrow. So it means that the vine is functioning, I think it's up to about 90% of the time during this ripening period. So quite significant.
So Kuyong was established in 1996, the vineyard, so we're pushing on 20 years old, some of the vines. And the winery itself was about 1999 was the first vintage that we made here. So Kuyong is Pinot Noir, Chardonnay and Pinot Gris, and that's all we do.
And whereabouts are we in the Mornington?
Mornington Peninsula, so we're on the northern side, so we're in Trellising, which is near Muraduck. So as you enter coming from Melbourne, heading south, we're one of the first places that you hit on the side. So we're on the sort of bottom of the slope where it gets a little bit warmer down here.
And the soil's a bit different?
It is, it's more of a sandy clay loam down here, as opposed to the red hill. We don't get the red volcanic soil.
And what does that do to the wines?
So here, they're quite shallow, the soils here, so they dry out quicker. So we focused a lot more on that, but because of that we're getting some pretty deep, robust red wines. But the white wines, we get a lot of intense flavour, but a lot of acidity as well. We like this spot for Chardonnay in particular. It seems to work really, really well with that balance.
Good. And Mornington in general, strengths of the region?
Strengths of the region, that maritime climate, I think, which we get some really nice warm days, and especially if you spend time in Melbourne and you feel the heat. And then at night, it's still warm. But down here, because we've got all the water around us, you can feel the heat getting sucked out. And it might come back again the next day, but then it comes and goes, and it comes and goes. And that's the beauty of it, is that sort of steady climate. So once summer's over, it sort of calms down, and that's when we start to pick, and it's perfect for the show.
This is the Ferris block.
Now you want to
the sort of slopes, as it were, coming down from the main ridge. And so north of here is more grayer, sandy soil and more robust Pinot territory.
And what's the difference? What's the difference between the wines that come off the redder soils and the sandier, loamy soils?
I think you get more of the red fruits and the fine but quite plentiful tannin from the red soil. In general, I mean, there's a little bit of flux between the two sort of up down the hill divisions, as it were. But I think, that red soil does give you this sort of fine but quite substantial tannin and more red currant, sour cherry, those real red fruits in Pinot particularly. Chardonnay is fine and citrusy in general, what the main characteristic I sort of say is the difference between the up and down except for acid. These cooler sides, especially with an easterly aspect, you get that high acidity, keeps the Chardonnay tight.
And this project itself, Willow Creek,
so this is planted in 89, so I'm just trying to do the mental arithmetic of how long that is. It must be 28.
very good.
Something like that. And yeah, so this is a real 80s planting, if you like. It was originally all hanging cane. So, of course, in the 80s we thought we would make heaps of amazing quality Cabernet, Chardonnay and Pinot from, 5 tons to the acre crops. So that was the theory, that if you had a trellis system that was sufficiently bountiful and could somehow get enough sunshine into that canopy, that you would have amazing fruit and just heaps of it. And so the 80s had many interesting aspects to it, but viticulturally, I think it certainly has a little bit of row and big head, and turns out that it wasn't quite right. But like many of those vineyards that were planted in the 80s down here, they've gone through major re-trellising and structural changes, planting changes. So there's very little Cabernet left, and pretty much everyone is limiting the crops and has a vertically shoot position on the canopy, and is doing almost endless hand manipulation to get a very small amount of fruit perfectly right. So we've learned a lot.